Do this shit?
They were all,
lift it up,
they were all
I guess.
like planking.
Yeah.
You use this?
I guess, I don't know.
I mean,
Oh, there you go.
okay.
That's good?
Yeah, that's good.
I want to go into that article too.
All right. We good?
This I read.
You want to open up
That article. Either Melinda Gates or the Joe Biden one. Brothers got it. Yeah, Melinda Gates and Bill Gates.
Time magazine?
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi, BaHaSham, Qadash.
Double honor that Elders in the Apostle GreatMillStone for teaching us the truth, and all the faithful lock to keep on pushing. We're gonna get into prophecy as always, of course, and things are heating up in America. All right, which they're supposed to. All right, the times we're living in are beautiful. Brothers can bring out scriptures in the article 2, BaHaSham, about Melinda Gates or whichever one. Either or.
Let me start with the scripture real quick. This is Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 8. Again of the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy, and say, Thus saith the Lord. Say, a sword is sharpened, and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Shall we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree.
Right, should we dare make mirth? This ain't a time to be enjoying yourselves out here. All right, we see things going on, all right, around the whole world. Like, you got a lot of these world leaders or these community activists. They're not teaching our people of the times to come. Although they got some type of zeal or whatever, they bring out certain things, but they're not going in the pussy. So we dare make mirth. All right, and of course that sword too represents Esau coming at you. All right, which the Lord is going to allow Esau as his whipping stick to come at you, Jake, you 2/3. All right, so we dare make mirth? No. The answer is no. We're not going to make mirth.
That's right, and that sword represents destruction, man.
Right.
You know that the sword comes in the form of martial law. The sword comes in the form of these police officers. The sword comes in the form of these vaccines. More importantly, that microchip, man, because it all represents destruction. Esau represents destruction. You know, but reading on, it says, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer.
Right, and the Most High is going to use Esau as his whooping stick to kill you 2/3. All right, he is going to slay you. All right, he's not going back down. This is the brother made mention yesterday. The brother from the main camp, he said there's 70 AD on steroids. All right, it's going to be like 70 AD on steroids. It's going to be worse than back then 70 AD with Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian, all right? And it's going to be worse, all right? When he's coming like a flood, brothers can bring that out too, all right? Because not only this devil is coming at 2/3, guess what? Some of the hopeful elect or the elect are going to be martyrs for this truth, all right? Some of us are going to be put to death too, all right? And that's part of prophecy, all right?
Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. So shall the name of the Lord Yahawah from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahawah shall lift up a standard against him.
See, Esau thinks that the men of the Lord are not going to get spiritual powers. All right, when these devils roll on us, they actually going to get caught in their tracks like, damn, how the hell did they get this type of power? All right, because they don't know what the Most High got prepared for those that love him. All right, spiritual powers is one of those things. All right, when these devils come in hard on us, the Lord is going to lift up that standard and pretty much give us those spiritual powers. Lord willing, we are the elect. All right, so Esau's military, don't fear that. All right, Esau putting you in prison. All right, don't fear that. None of these devils, don't fear that. All right, you ain't supposed to fear nothing.
It says, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith the Lord.
Right, let's talk about the elect.
the precept? Isaiah 40:31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Talking about that protection that the elect of the Lord are gonna get, you know. So it could seem sci-fi or like the shit movies are made of, but the scriptures say that nothing is impossible with the Most High. So as Esau has all the and artillery in the world, our sword is the spiritual sword, and that's actually where you get movies like X-Men and all that. Like the elect of the Lord are gonna be granted that, because that's part of our inheritance.
That's where you get that word script. It comes from the scriptures.
Yeah, it's just a characteristic of the eagle. You know, the eagle is the bird that flies the highest, man. You know, and it's swift. You know, so the Lord, that's pretty much saying that the Lord is gonna bring us from this dunghill that we particularly in, you know, above all of these other nations. You know what I'm saying? With that spiritual power.
Yeah, this is Psalms chapter 10 and 1. Why standest thou far off, O Yahawah? Why hidest thou thyself in the time of trouble? The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that he have imagined. You know, and the way that they come, you know, like the scripture has said, brother was breaking it down, you know, when they shall come in like a flood, the Lord gonna lift up a slander. So at a certain time, certain brothers who are the elect, the Most High is gonna put that spirit on them, man. And that spirit is gonna lift up that standard that Esau can't take by force this brother, man. All right, and then what? That will be Esau being taken in the devices that he, because eventually them soldiers gonna get destroyed, man, by the spirit and power of Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi.
Yeah, I got the article. Still on the spiritual powers. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Now, you know, it's real easy to point at the chariots, the vehicles of the Most High, and be like, that's what the scripture is talking about. But guess what? You got Trump making a space force. All right, they're prepared to fight against the chariots, but what they're not prepared for is that standard that the Lord is going to bestow upon his elect, and that's that spiritual power. All right, it says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves. You remember that dream that the brother, I think, posted on the chat, where the brother had the dream where they was on the run and there was pilgrims on the earth and they were being persecuted, and one of the brothers got trapped into a corner and he had almost no way out, and then next thing you know, like in the twinkle of an eye, this big burly dude is getting held up by some telekinesis, man. That's an example of them groaning in anguish, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you can do in a situation like that. That's why they're going to be groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How was he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot among the saints? You know? So hey, it's going to be some great glory that the Lord is going to give us.
Can I get that definition for the standard? Or H5127, to cause to disappear. So it seems far-fetched that the elites are like, man, they ain't gonna disappear. They think it's from a movie, but where do they get, like the brother mentioned, where they get the stuff from? They get it from the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord can make us disappear, and they be like, damn, where the hell are they at? That's a stand. That's something that'll boggle these devils' minds.
A quick land back real quick is just what happened in Egypt too. That seemed like there was no way out when we were in the Exodus, you know. And then our people started feeling desperate, you know, with Pharaoh's army behind us and nothing but an ocean. And that's when the Lord, through Moses, was able to split the sea. Something impossible, you know, something that, again, it takes faith. But the Lord has said that in these days it's going to be greater than Egypt. So the Lord wants what's impossible so he can magnify his power.
Kind of, if I can add too, because Salaki, brother. Yeah, if I got as well, because hey man, the punishment had an end at that time, man. You know, so that's why the miracles came through. So it's the same thing. Lamentations 4:22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. So you know that's why spiritual powers is coming, because the punishment is done, man. You know, and then that's why scripture say, the teacher shall not be removed into a corner anymore. Meaning all before time, we had got put to death. You know, we was on a run, you know, this and that. But now all of it is accomplished. So that's why spiritual powers is coming now, because it's about to have that transfer in power.
Yeah, this is because the Most High has work that's unsearchable. This is Psalms 145:1. It says, David, Psalm of praise. I will extol thee, my power, O King, and I will bless thy name forever and ever. You know, just showing you also that name. That name is important, man. All right, that name, Yahawah and Yahawashi. All right, it's not just a word or something to take lightly. The reason why we woke up to this truth, all right, was because of the name of the Lord. Why we are in this truth is because it's of the name of the Lord. All right, the Most High want us to extol and exhort His name. So this is verse 2. Every day will I bless thee, and I will praise thy name forever and ever. Great is the Lord Yahawah, and greatly to be praised, and His greatness is unsearchable. You know, so there's no measure to the Most High's power. You know, there's nothing impossible that the Most High can't do. Everything is possible to the Heavenly Father. So when we talk about a brother receiving powers while we reading the scriptures, well, these things are going to happen, man. You know, it's nothing to the Lord to raise up a tree, you know, to come out and speak to the people if He wanted to. You know, that's how great our power is, and that's Yahawah BaHaSham Yahawashi.
That's what the scriptures say too. He does things way past finding out. Like you're not gonna find it out.
Hey, something real quick too, man. IOIC said you could call them jalapeno pepper.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Backing up what you just said there, Psalms chapter 2, verse 7, I will declare the decree, the Lord hath said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron, thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. So there you go, ain't nothing impossible to the Lord. You know, you gotta have a belief, ask with faith, man. You know, if you were to let.
Yeah, when you look at that word extol, right, it goes into enthusiastically in a way that shows intense and eager enjoyment, interest, or approval.
Right. So when we extol the name of the Lord, we say Yahawah BaHaSham Yahawashi. He's in all our thoughts. So why not confess, all right, and extol His name, praise His name, you know, exhort His name in this earth. That's our sole purpose of us waking up to the truth, is to exhort the name of the Lord. You know, when you read Ezekiel 36, how it gets into how the Lord said, I do not this for your sake, but for my name's sake, His holy name. You know.
Quick precept. Psalm 61:2. From the end of the earth will I cry unto thee. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For thou hast been a shelter for me, and a strong tower from the enemy.
Hey, I'll tell you this, man. Through the Spirit, you know, Yahawah BaHaSham Yahawashi, if I may, you know, be in the right spirit to say this, Lord willing. The ones that's going to receive the powers is brothers who know the name of the Lord. All right, you ain't gonna have an individual receive powers of the Lord and he don't know where he got it from, because he gonna do whatever he want with it. So, but if you under the powers and order of Yahawah BaHaSham Yahawashi, you're gonna know that it comes with it comes from the Most High, and it's done in righteousness. You know.
All right, another precept, Proverbs 18:10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe.
So the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The scriptures speak on how the name of the Lord, the name of the Lord, the name of the Lord. That's our power source, man. When we praise Yahawah BaHaSham Yahawashi, that's righteousness coming off our lips, man. That's our power source to what we cry unto. You know, we need a savior. All right, the only thing we have is His name and also His gospel, His word, man.
Can I get one more?
Real quick. This is Psalm chapter 124, verse 1. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, now may Israel say. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick when their wrath was kindled against us. Then the waters had overwhelmed us, which are these martial law troops, Blackwater. It says, and they're known as the contractors. So they're going to be the ones sent out to get the profits. It says, then the waters had overwhelmed us, the stream had gone over our soul. Then the proud waters had gone over our soul. Blessed be the Lord, who have not given us as a prey to their teeth. Who's the teeth? These are
military.
Yeah, and that starts now. You know, brothers have given their bodies as a living sacrifice. So the brothers that have been out prophesizing start with our apostles and elders, and the brothers on down have been out faithfully, consistently, in season, out of season, faithfully out here teaching His word you was faced with death. You know how many times we encountered, you know, maybe not now because we're in a different season, but niggas want to shoot you.
Yeah.
You know, niggas talking shit, the black woman trying to start a riot. You know, if it wasn't of the Lord, they would have swallowed us up, man. But it's coming to a point where Esau, that's why I believe, what is it, Psalms 83? He said, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. You know, because these elites, they got it out for the Lord's elect, man. And that's when the scripture also is going to apply, because certain brothers are going to be able to escape that, man. You know?
Yeah, I was going to get the definition for overwhelm, right? Buried or drowned beneath a huge mass. The water flowed through to overwhelm the whole dam and the village beneath, right? But it's to give too much. See, Esau's trying to overwhelm us with that flood of destruction. You know, it's like, it seems like it's too much for you, but you can actually escape that with spiritual powers.
And I believe now we was doing a lot of talking about what's going on, and the stage is set. It's like now they need chaos. They need unrest. You know, they need civil unrest. They need Jake, and they need these guys to just act out so that they can, you know, do their next step, man. All right, because if not, they're gonna come out and pull another hoax, man. You know, but really, Yahawah Yahawashi is governing this thing, so eventually it's gonna get to its mark, because the Most High is setting these devils up for a kill.
It says, blessed be the Lord, who have not given us as a prey to their teeth. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken, and we are escaped. Our help is in the name of Yahawah, BaHaSham Yahawashi, who made heaven and earth.
The scriptures, one of the scriptures, it says, wings as eagles and fly, run and not be weary. Because if we had it our way, you know, the Lord give us that power.
I think it matters.
You know, and you know, you might have spiritual powers, fly. When they come, you like a bird, you fly out of the situation. You know what they do, man.
Yeah,
hey, certain brothers gonna have wings, man.
Hey, you know, snares represent these vaccines. Snares represents the microchip. You know, all of these traps, schemes, and tricks that these devils intend, you know, to get the elect caught up in, man. You know, here it is. We represent Yahawah BaHaSham Yahawashi. Somebody get that? What's that? Isaiah 8:20, if I'm not mistaken. You know,
according to this word.
Yeah, but some people call it, what's the jinn? How
yeah.
That's,
I think that's in Job.
This one in Isaiah. So, man.
I'll look it up.
Isaiah what?
8:20. What that say?
It says to the law and to the
testimony.
14. It's like
14.
Isaiah 8:14.
Oh, yeah, done. It's Isaiah chapter 8:14.
Yeah, the camp is a little dark because we got shade, so this is swing. This is Rawchaa.
Oh, that's better.
All right, so this is Isaiah chapter 8, verse 14. And
13, sir.
verse 13, sanctify the Lord of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, for a gin, and for a snare, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
That's right. So essentially, what Yahawashi was a jinn, a snare, and a trap for pretty much 2/3 of our own people, man. You know, and if he's a snare and a jinn unto 2/3 of our own people, how much more this devil, man? You know, because here it is, this devil, this Edomite, he's taking advice from Satan. You know, and Satan works for the Heavenly Father. You know, so the Lord got this devil in a trick bag, thinking he's going to be able to accomplish a new world order. You know, and essentially, it's going to come a time to where, you know, wisdom is going to remove himself from this devil. You know, from this Edomite. That's the ultimate trap, man. You know, and we're coming out speaking that these things are going to happen, but Esau's so gun-ho thinking that his agenda is going to work. You know, they called it Agenda 21 for a reason. You know, we're approaching 2021. You know, so we in the time now to where these devils, you know, they know they got but a short time. So what? They unleashing all of it. They unleashing everything, man. They unleashing all of their schemes, man.
This is Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 7. It says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither did remember the latter end of it.
That's right, because these devils tell themselves, like, look, we're going to accomplish this new world order. The microchip is going to control 500 million people, and once it sees that number, we'll be able to release cyanide into their bloodstream to maintain the population, while they're riding off into the sunset in their space stations, their underground bunkers, just controlling the world by the way of a push of a button. You know, just like that movie, America's Last Crime. You know how they made mention how they can play like Jesus by the push of a button, man. Right. By just sending the signal.
They can stop all the crime.
Yeah. And that's why these devils had to set up these 5G towers. You know, so it could be in harmony with the microchips when it's mandated, man.
Got a definition for that word, lady, because he said it'll be a lady forever. From the Hebrew word gabarah, from H1376, which pretty much goes into Lord, ruler, or master.
Check that out. He thought he was going to be in control and power forever, man. But that's why the Lord said he disappointed the devices of the crafty, man. That's you got it? You got it?
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
you know what I'm saying? Because disappointment is one of the worst emotions you can feel, man. You know, so he's been telling himself this repeatedly, you know, that he was going to be the ruler, that he was going to be the master, that everybody's going to have to fall under his vibration. But when the Lord interrupts that while he's eating, you know, that's going to lead to great disappointment, man. You know, and we're telling you about this repeatedly, man. You know, but it's beautiful because it's all about vibration. You know, every time a brother do a lesson, every time a brother puts up a prayer, every time brothers go out here on the highways and byways, vibrations are being pushed. That's the reason why the society is about to collapse, because the brothers is out here teaching this word, man. You know, the Lord is bringing forth his prophecies.
Yeah, I was gonna make one thing, and with that definition, that's how you know that the lady is that the woman that sit upon the beast. You know?
Con.
And I was gonna make mention of how because you had the devil, which we know he was talking in code. This guy Al Sharpton, he was saying how George Floyd was a cornerstone for change of the world. Which, you know, and there I remember the brother in Vegas, you know, he brought it out to where he was basically talking in code because, you know, they're both Freemasons or whatever. So he was basically that that scapegoat or whatever, or that black sheep that was used to be slain. You know what I'm saying, for the change of the world.
Wow.
You know, but hey, man, this word, Yahawashi is changing this world, man. You know, if you think of it in Daniel or whatever, when Daniel prayed, from the moment Daniel prayed, the Lord heard him, but the angels were playing on the minds of the ruler at the time, man. So that's what's happening now, man. From our time our apostles and our elders went out there, the Lord heard us, man. But the Lord, you know, got the angels playing on these devils' minds.
You know, one of the forms of human sacrifice is strangulation.
This Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 8. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord Yahawah Yahawashi, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. All right, and one of those zabak is that's the Hebrew word zabak. H2077. All right, sacrifices to dead things. The covenant sacrifice. All right, that's why they use George Floyd to sacrifice to, you know, the elites and whatever they do, spiritual demons, Satan, and that's how they try to, you know, but George Floyd ain't no cornerstone.
And here it is, that's Esau playing God.
Yeah.
Playing God, as if, you know, he's going to play the scriptures out the way he wanted to play so that he could get, you know, the better end of the stick, so that he can still be on top. But I got a scripture for you, y'all brothers to break down. This is Daniel chapter 4 and 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. He setteth up it the basis of men. You know, and clearly that shows you the Most High, as Daniel's reading here. I mean, we're telling us here that, look, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. He set up the base of men. Who the base of men? Esau, Edom. All right, you the Edomites, man. No doubt about that. You are the Edomites. Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. You are the wicked, man.
Yeah, they have that term in the world called "follow the money." Whose face is on the money, man?
Right.
Hey, it's freaking Pride Month, man. Homosexuality Month.
Wow. June.
I saw that shit in Walmart, even the kids section with a bunch of pride shit. You know, so they trying to bring that homosexuality agenda to the children.
Right.
I got a quick precept. Jeremiah 50:23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. You know? So Babylon goes against all of the Lord's ways. Every single law, statute, and commandment that the Lord put in place, Esau, Satan, the adversary of the Lord, it goes contrary to that.
Yeah, I gotta finish this up. Isaiah 47:8. It says, therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee, and their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries. And
for the multitude of your sorceries, man. All that necromancy you be doing, you know, a good thing to watch. You know, the brother Shalimar, you know, put me onto it a couple of years back. But you see how these devils are into that them sorceries and witchcraft. If you type in on YouTube, Roger Morno, A Trip to the Supernatural, man. It shows you how them devils maneuver when it comes to the left hand, man. You know, these devils is wicked, man. You know, ultimately wicked. You know, and it's contrary to the ways of Yahawah, BaHaSham, Rawchaa, like the brother just mentioned. So that's one of the main reasons why the Lord got to cut you down, man. That's the main reason why the Lord is bringing you to your knees. Y'all already crippled spiritually, man. Y'all can't even function. You know, the scriptures tell us you can't even sleep at night, man. We got the drop on you by way of the scriptures. We know how to deal with you Edomites. The Lord said he's going to destroy you with the spirit of his mouth, then with the brightness of his coming. You know, so it's only a matter of time before this situation and scenario get played out on the physical playing field, man.
It says, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thou wisdom and thou knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
That's right, so Edom, you're not in control, man. The scriptures clearly say you shall not be able to put it off. You know, here it is, you got the earth in the palm of your hand because it was given unto you. If something is given to you, it can be easily taken away by the same person who gave it to you. You know, but you devils, you're not spiritual. You know, you sold your birthright because you despised it. You know, here it is, you got some planning for the blessing, you was crying hysterically for it. You know, so what? The Lord put you in the outer house, man. You know, you're profane, man. Meaning what? Outside the temple. You know, you have nothing to do with this. It's like a movie that you haven't watched, man. You can't relate. You know, these are experiences that you have never indulged in because the Lord never set you up, you know, to be that chosen vessel. You know, but here it is, the Lord's fair. He gave you a time and season to rule. But what? We approaching that time to where you devils is going to be rooted out of power. You know, but on the contrary, you think that you're in control of your own destiny. You're not. And here it is with that false belief system. You got 2/3 of our own people believing in that, in that particular sensibility, man. You know. So what? The Lord has to bring judgment upon you for that, because why? You poisoned his chosen seed, man. That's why the Lord is only delivering the elect out of the nation of Israel, because we know how to give credit. 2/3 don't, man. They call themselves 85ers. They call themselves a Muslim. They call themselves black. You know, totally negating the true name of the Heavenly Father and the name that He's given us.
Yeah, I was gonna say just one thing, that Esau, you know, they're controlling everything, but it's gonna come a point where you're gonna lose the control, man. All right, you're gonna see the powers of the Most High. Just how the Lord bring in the chariots, and they be going, they hover around their what you call it, missile testers, and they do sorts of things to their missiles. Well, what you gonna do when the Lord bring in that power and start controlling everything, starts taking over the chaos? See, Esau wants wants to make it believe that he's losing power, but really he's still in power. You know, he orchestrated these things. He allowed these things to happen so one could fall and he could bring in another. You know, the Lord spoke about that. They shall be thrown down. They shall build up, but the Lord will throw down. You know, because eventually the Lord gonna take over. Well, the Lord is already orchestrating everything, but eventually you're gonna see that power from the right hand side of the Lord, and He's gonna stand upon His feet.
It's real quick. The scriptures say the powers of heaven shall be shaken. You know, who's the powers of heaven? These devils, these Edomites. They're gonna be shaken because everything that they plan is not going according to the plan.
Right.
You know, things are going to start to malfunction.
Backfire.
Things are going to start to we're approaching that time, man.
And to line back what you're saying, what proves that is that now that they removed the gag order from the UFOs and all that, because they've been seeing this shit for years, but now that they want to report on these UFO sightings, a lot of these pilots are saying, and people that even work with these nuclear arms, that sometimes launch sequences are set off that they can't even explain, that they're about to, you know, there's like a countdown starts and then it shuts off. That's the Most High just playing with you, showing you that He controls all your weapons. I mean, who gave you the sword? The Most High Himself.
And some of those launch sequences, they'll go off, it'll be 3, 2, and the thing just explode out of nowhere. You know?
Or they get up in the heavens, and then next thing you know, it starts breaking apart. It explodes.
Right.
Matter of fact, wasn't it my Lord did just recently when Trump and them tried to launch something to the space? It was like a first time launching in years, and it blew up. And I think it blew up, if I'm not mistaken.
We're talking about that Elon Musk.
It was one of them just recently within, I think, this beginning of month or last month.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Weak ass technology.
Collab know what I'm talking about.
The Lord said a boundary in which you cannot pass.
Right.
Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever He will, and setteth up over it the basis of man. Oh, I think we brought it out.
Yeah. No, it's all
The
good.
Lord wanted to bring it out again.
That's right.
The Lord wants to show peons that He's in control.
Con.
You know?
Knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, wisdom.
His understanding, that's two.
Hey, that's the spirit, man, because the Lord set up you Edomites, man. Didn't the scripture say He showed favor to the wicked?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So the Lord allowed you Edomites to rule, and you had your chance. You know, we're at the end of your rulership, man. You've been ruling since these Greeks, since Alexander the Greek, man. Okay, Alexander the Great. That's when you've been in power. All right, you know, you fell, but then what? Now this is what, the new modern day Rome, man. You know, yeah.
I was gonna say, the prophets is like the alarm clock, you know what I'm saying? But Esau keep trying to hit that snooze button, you know what I'm saying? Until you find out it's too late. It's too late. You gotta wake up.
You know, the mother nations can't forget about them too. Them hills, them other lower governments and stuff like that. And can I just bring this out right quick? BaHaSham, this is an entomology, right? Online for the word hill. This is devil by the name of William Gobbett back in 1818 on April 11th. He was like a pamphleteer, the devil like handing out pamphlets and whatever information is source. But he wrote this: those whom God intends to destroy, He first makes foolish. And how's He doing that? He's doing it through the mouth of the prophets.
Yeah. Go on.
Nope.
Hey, I got a scripture behind that.
Read that again.
Go ahead.
This is on online etymology for the word hill, like a lesser government, these other nations too. So we going at everybody. H-I-L-L, yep. And it's William Cobbett. He's an Edomite. I looked him up. He's definitely an Edomite. April 11th, 1818. Those whom God intends to destroy, He first makes foolish.
Esau looking foolish.
Shit, look at Trump.
Yeah, right?
Word, yeah.
You always saying something dumb.
That goes hand in hand with the scripture that says that pride comes before a fall.
Yeah, right.
This nothing's more proud than America.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is Jeremiah chapter 49 verse 7 concerning Edom. Thus saith the Lord of hosts: Is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Our brother just mentioned how the Lord is taking the wisdom away from this devil, man, and He's making himself look stupid. You know?
Yeah, He allowed them to have Black Lives Matter, you know, in front of the White House on the ground like that. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I said they're not gonna just pave that over quick. They're allowing black people, which we're not black, all right. They're allowing black people to have a voice. You know, you got all of these different celebrities coming up, Ice Cube, trying to, you know, one dude, I seen a comment from him, he said, I forgot what's his name, what's his name, Ross 5'9", what's the dude from? Yeah, he made mention and said, he said, thank you white people for waking up Ice Cube. You know, and you know, Pops was covering him, say he knew that he an Israelite, you know, or whatever. You got Dave Chappelle special, you know, he kind of cursing out the white man, you know, so it's like everybody, Jake, that's celebrities is really, you know, voicing themselves now. Before they would hold back, you know, a lot of it could be also permission, helping, you know, to draw you black people into this track, you know, as Esau always do, you know.
Even the rapper T.I., you know what I'm saying? He had made a statement, even though he was going off, you know what I'm saying, when he was talking about the 400 years of captivity in a strange land, which that was talking about, you know, Egypt, but he was likening it unto America, you know, talking about 1619, you know, and trying to apply it to the times that we in right now, talking about there's going to be some type of freedom, you know, but he referenced the Bible scriptures, you know, he referenced the scriptures, you know. And even a couple of months ago, you know, he got chastised for it. But even Floyd Mayweather was talking about how we the Israelites, you know. So they all know.
So like, I have a screenshot off one of Ice Cube's posts, which is straight out the scriptures. Which again, these celebrities, unless something's up, like you're saying, they wouldn't have the okay. I'll read it real quick. He said, "What's happening, protesters around the earth? Let's not forget that we're fighting to get the chains off each other and place them on the people they belong on."
Revelation 13.
Yep.
Well, yeah,
Isaiah 14. The living God is with us. Don't give up the fight. So,
Damn,
yeah,
man.
that's why Royce's name, Royce 5'9", he said, thank you white people for waking up Ice Cube. Another embarrassment, you know, is what's her name, Nancy Pelosi. Right. She had the African, what's that, the scarf, and her peoples, and they kneeled down to the statues. What the
Kente cloth.
You know, Nancy Pelosi.
Hey, Ice Cube was part of that old line too, cause he got a couple songs. I know one of them was "Stand Tall," you know, where he speaks about how people need to, you know, stop being dumbasses. You know, he had a couple good music videos. I forgot a lot of them, but he was getting on the so-called white man back in the days. And then his old, you know, he became that crouching lion, you know, stopped caring, and now he's starting to get woken back up again, man.
We got a song called "The Wicked," I believe. The Wicked. Like, it goes into that.
There you go.
Let me jump down to verse 10. It's 49, verse 10. It says, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself." So essentially, he's naked, right? If somebody was caught out here naked, they'd be embarrassed. They'd be ashamed, you know. And that's what the Lord is doing. Is doing right now to this devil. Exposing him. It says his seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. His seed is spoiled, man. Right now, his children are seeking to please the poor, man. You got Edomites down on bending knee, apologizing to so-called Negroes, man, to Israelites. You know, whether that's set up or not, it's putting that vibration out there that you Edomites are no longer in power, man. You know.
Yeah, but another thing too, to show you how this whole thing is set up, because at the same time, like Esau's trying to basically like kind of quell Jake down, so to speak. It looks like it, you know what I'm saying, trying to take, you know, certain shows off air because they might be so-called racist. You got this on Netflix, which they know people still home watching Netflix. They got a documentary called LA 92. You know, going into the Watts riots back in the 90s.
The LA riots.
Oh yeah, the LA riots. You know, with Rodney King, man. So Esau knows what he's doing, man. He's playing both sides. You know, the guy George Soros. It came out that this guy, his guy was being paid by George Soros to pay other protesters, you know, to riot, man. You know.
Hey, on Spotify, they just re-uploaded that song by XXX Tentacion called "Riot."
Come on.
Every New Music Fridays, they release new music, and they release a song called "Riot." Come on, bro.
That's witchcraft.
That is.
We had Mary Baraka back in the 60s, 67 when Newark had those riots. And that's Ross Baraka's, the mayor of Newark's father. He was into that, like, rebelling, like, you know what I'm saying, uprisings and stuff like that. But his son later on, they interviewed him and said, why you ain't doing like your father did, or why you ain't, well, you know, I'm trying to keep the peace, you know, like they trying to keep the peace. Really a coon, though. He's Watch Barack is gonna get a lot of you chicks caught up.
Yeah. Cool, bro. This is Genesis chapter 49 and 8. Judah, thou art he whom thou brethren shall praise. Thou hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. And Esau knows the scriptures, man. That's why he did that to that dude and made it, public the way it is. It says, thou father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art going up. He stooped down, he croucheth as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
Hey, that's why, hey, going back to the article that the brother had wanted to bring out, it makes perfect sense now why it says, Melinda Gates says black people must be vaccinated first for COVID-19 after healthcare workers. Now, when you read down, just jump straight to the point, it says, how do we make sure that happens? The first people that need this vaccine are the 60 million healthcare workers around the world. It says they deserve to get it before anybody else. Then you start tiering. It says who needs it after healthcare workers. In the U.S., that would be black people next, quite honestly, and many other people of color. They are having disproportionate effects from COVID-19 from there with underlying health conditions, and then people who are older.
Yeah, it makes it seem like, I remember Apostle Tahar, they mentioned how like Trump could be Nero, how he blamed it on the Israelites.
Right.
It's like this COVID-19, first Jake couldn't get it, and now all of a sudden Jake is the epic of it. It's Melinda Gates talking about you got to vaccine the so-called blacks first. It's like they're gonna blame this whole because the riots. It turned into Jake, blaming on Jake anyway. All the riots and shit, which they staged
And they started.
They got what you call paid agitators. They got agent provocateurs. There's an Edomite woman. I meant to put it up or post it, but she even dug into it and found out who was putting those bricks out there amongst those protesters. And she said it goes back to Bill Gates. I forgot the company name. I got to pull up in my phone. But she said Bill Gates is tied in that. Just know that.
Yeah, even through the as soon as they set that police station on fire in Minneapolis, I knew it was a setup. How do you get to set up a police station on fire? Like, how do you approach it to set it on fire, like without cops coming out? Right. Like, come on.
And then they told the police officers in certain states to stand down. They told them to stand down. You saw videos. There's video clips where cops are vandalizing their own police car.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Clear as day.
You see them vandalizing, looting, and they same thing in uniform, man.
Which goes back to the scriptures proving who's Esau with the false accuser,
Right.
The accuser of our brothers. I'm saying it's all a setup, and also for months they were telling you to stay home, right? Stay home. That's the narrative to flatten the curve. But now they give you a blatantly wicked viral video like that you know is gonna rouse Jake up to come out and protest.
Right.
Because now when they want to extend the stay-at-home order, they blame it on you Jakes. Because it was because you guys weren't social distancing and you came out and protest and stuff. So now it's that we got to keep extending it. Now it's also why there's military, because you saw that you guys were setting the city on fire. But it's really just them themselves order out of chaos.
Yeah, and truth be told, a lot of these riots, you look at the videos, I mean, there's a lot of 2/3 Jake out there, but there is just as many Edomites out there among with them, man.
Yeah.
There are so
Yeah.
many Edomites within those Black Lives Matter protests, and they've been caught. You see the ones that are spraying it on the government buildings, BLM. They're Edomites, man. A lot of the looting, they're getting called out on video. Be like, look, the people that are doing this are not a so-called black, man. They're Edomites. They're white people, man.
I got some. This is Sirach chapter 10 verse 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Destructive. This devil is destructive. The elites of the society is destructive. Why you see all of these officers putting Jake to death at an alarming rate? Hell, in Atlanta yesterday, a Jake was asleep in his car. Here it is, the police officers came and started fucking with him. Then they started wrestling with the Jake, and then he started running for it, and they shot him. And this just happened yesterday.
Yeah, you can read that one more time.
Yeah, it says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
right? So now when you go into I think I want to say the book of Habakkuk, well, basically these other nations looking at Babylon, and you know how they judge this place off of the media, man. You know, so you have people in Spain, people all over the world saying, "Oh, I seen the news," you know what I'm saying, and look what they doing, look what's happening, but they not showing you, like I think this one guy was breaking it down to where how you have these, you know, these top devils like Bill Clinton, George Soros, all right, who they fund Black Lives Matter, they fund Antifa, all right, but they'll have Antifa, you know what I'm saying, dressed up and shit as Black Lives Matter doing stuff, all right, but they put it on the news as if it's just Black Lives Matter, like, you know, black people is just, which, you know, Jake is fucking savages, but Esau's, you know, throwing a monkey wrench in there too.
Yeah.
You caused us to be savages. Like the scriptures say, the wicked have waited for me to destroy me. Why is he waiting? Because he set the traps. You know, he the one that put the guns in the community. He's the one that put the liquor stores in the community. He the one that put the drugs in the community. You know what I'm saying? And then here it is, Jake dwelling in poverty. You know, you gotta eliminate the poverty to eliminate the violence, man. You know. But let me finish this out. This verse 3. It says, "An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited."
Esau, you that unwise king. You destroy your own people, even Edomites. You know, you stripping them from their rights of the Constitution, First Amendment, Second Amendment, you know, right to bear arms. You know, you stripping them from their luxury in the suburbs, you know, which, you know, they're your people. But the elites are for self, you know, they want to be as a god, you know, and it's just my little opinion. It seems like, you know, because we watch these movies, we watch it with a spiritual eye, and I always think of these elites going back to the Hunger Games. You know, it's like they've been hidden for so long, you know, that now, once they have everybody in place, all right, with chips and microchips, their utopia is that they use us as they use cattle. All right, just as they slaughter cattle, they want to be able to slaughter us. Just like if you slaughter an ox, you know, because you want to eat tonight. You go out in your farm and you slaughter them. They want to do that to the people here in the world. All right, especially here the Israelites, man. They want to get that birthright so they can finally be settled with themselves and come out in the open. Because on Hunger Games, you get to see the elite, you know, the sort of elite in the movie show their faces, you know, weird looking, blonde hair, you had trainees, you had, you know, all weird and shit. And they came out and they got glorified, you know. So Esau, his mindset could be, you know, and this is just my opinion, his mindset could be, I want to be seen now. But you're not, because why? You're going to be seen when you get shackled, man. You know, when you go into slavery, man. I got a quick precept though.
One more precept?
Okay.
The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
One that is profitable, and that's Jacob, who was promised the covenant, man. All right, so this is Psalms 10 and 6, because these Edomites are good for this. It says, "He hath said in his heart, I will not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret place do he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor." And that's why us of the hopeful elect, all right, looking to receive salvation, you know, we marinate in these scriptures, man. You know, every day, man. You know, putting forth shows and praying, you know, gathering together, brotherly, you know, showing brotherly love. Because why? Not having this knowledge and this wisdom, you ain't gonna have no stability. Jake out here want to protest when instead they should be protesting back to the Lord, crying out. But you're protesting for rights for Esau. You know. Now it says his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. So you should know this about your enemy. You should know this about this Edomite. All right, this so-called white man that been slaughtering you for all of these years. Now all of a sudden, now you want to cry out and speak all the shit that they done. We've been doing that. It says, verse 8, "He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, and in the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor." So his eyes are always against you. Even when you think these so-called black people think that they got some type of rights, you ain't got no right. He giving you a voice now, but guess what? He's gonna come like a roaring lion, man. Hey, you ever watch the lions and you see the male lion with the mane after the females, the lioness get the they tackle and get the food and they start nibbling, and out of nowhere, here come the full force of a male lion. He comes so fast that he falls and trips to stop himself to get to the food, and then he barks at everybody around until they move out the way, and then he eat, and then he leave, and then the lioness eat. Well, Esau is gonna come like that roaring lion, and that's these troops. Man. That's these troops, man. It says he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He do catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. So you're being drawn into this net. All right, lawlessness. You got Missouri. They're talking about they defunding police.
That's what
Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. They talk about defunding police. And Trump, I seen him speak on it. He said if they defund police, it's gonna be more anarchy.
The brother's right though. It's not only in Minnesota, though. It's all around.
All around. You know, so hey, you're being drawn into his net. It says he croucheth and humble himself. That's what he's doing now. Now he's humbling before you. Black Lives Matter, all that crap.
Walking with the people.
You gotta be kidding me. You're not even black. It says he croucheth and humble himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones, man. These are scriptures, man. These scriptures are alive and well, man. Prophesizing right now, coming to pass, man. You know?
Yeah, the same way that they rousing Jacob, they're rousing up that hardcore racist Edomites.
Yeah,
because the ones up north here, you know, they pretend they gotta work with you in the workplace, so they hold that shit inside.
Right.
But you got the Confederate states, which those that don't fuck around, and those are the statues that they're bringing down. So those are the heroes of a lot of these Edomites, you know. So it is to rouse them up. They're seeing all the shit all these little goodies that are being given to so-called black companies or Target trying to do their part, or Netflix. You see, so. That's gonna piss off Esau to the point that, you know, he get blood red, to come out against you, Jake.
He gonna lick the first shot.
The brother right though, because the Confederates that you got Joe Biden talking about, he want to remove all the Confederate flags or whatever names off of military bases. So it's really gonna stir up them damn devils.
Yeah, and that is their flag. Like there's a whole part of the U.S. that they don't even have that 13 stripe shit. They have the X, you know, that Confederate flag. So now when you fucking with their heroes, they're gonna come out, and they're the ones that are armed. We don't got arms like they do.
And even NASCAR, you can't bring a Confederate flag to the events no more, man. But I got some real quick. Proverbs 26:24. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. And I got like a personal testimony to that, man. You know, I was working at this one workplace, working with this, I was messing with this Edomite or whatever, and there was another Edomite that was smiling in my face and shit, right? But he was telling the girl that I was messing with, calling me a nigger and shit, and she came and tells me like, yo, he was saying that, but he didn't even know I was messing with her, man. But he was all up in my face, smiling, buddy and shit, but I already know the scriptures anyway, so it wasn't a shocker to me, man. I was like, yo, that's the scriptures, man. See? So gotta read it again. It says, he that hateth dissembleth with his lips. Because Esau is a fucking coward, man. He can't be straight on. So he has to do it sneakily. It says, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not. For there are 7 abominations in his heart. So you can't take nothing what he says, man.
His heart is full of abominations. It's complete, dead set against the order of Yahawashi.
So just like that scripture said, when he speaks fair, believe it or not. Now you got a lot of these Edomite companies that are trying to speak fair, trying to give discounts, and so you can't trust that. That's definitely, you know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got some. This is Proverbs 12:6. The words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. You know, in the scriptures, you just, hey, you know, you speak what's on your heart, man. There's no, you know, you speak what's on your heart, man. You know, but Esau, what he does, he'll speak, you know, he'll speak what you want to hear, man. You know, and then in his heart, he's thinking to to lay you down. You know, but Jake, hey, that's why we say 2/3. You gotta go, man. Because here it is. You carnal, all right? You see things from Esau's, the devil's point of view, and it never worked out for you. You know, but now you want to protest and, you know what I'm saying, have equal rights, man. Technically, if you wanted justice according to the scriptures is you over this devil, man. That's what's fair. Yeah, there's nothing, the scriptures don't say you could walk hand in hand, man.
Right.
Either above them or you below them. That's just how it works.
Yeah, I got a scripture for that. This is justice. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, the Israelite foreigners, all right? And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. All right, that's reparations. Okay, that's justice. All right, that's righteous payback, man.
That's the Lord's will. So even when people are trying to protest for equality, you're going off. That's not the Lord's will. We're not equal to Esau. We're above Esau. So even that is in the wrong spirit. When you're trying to say that Black Lives Matter, or we're trying to march and protest for equality, we more than matter. We rule. We're kings. You know?
Yeah, I got it. This is the kingdom of heaven, which is yet to come. It says Psalms 149:1. Praise ye the Lord Yahawah, sing unto the Lord Yahawah a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and the harp. For the Lord Yahawah taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in the glory, and let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahawah be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand.
Hey, because when we waking up from our beds at this moment, we mourning. You know what I'm saying? Because primarily, you're waking up to go to work, man. You're waking up to go to work to make an Edomite more rich than what he already is, man. So it's morning, and not only that, it's long hours for the most part. You know, so that in itself, you know, so the Lord is showing the transition how we're going to be singing, you know what I'm saying, aloud in our beds in the kingdom. We're going to be ecstatic to wake up. Why? Because we're going to be exercising judgment upon you Edomites. With the sword. Most importantly, we're going to be perfected, man. You know, go ahead.
It says to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people.
That's right, because why? A lesson not learned in blood is soon forgotten, man. You know? So what? Blood has to be required, you know, upon you Edomites, man, in order for you to get the message, in order for you to get the picture. That's why the scriptures say that we shall rule over him with a rod of iron, because that's the only way that we're going to have to get this devil, this Edomite, into subjection, by whooping his ass. Even when we read Revelation, the 9th chapter, it speaks upon how this devil is not going to even humble himself, because he's still going to seek unto his sorceries. He's still going to seek unto his witchcrafts. You know what I'm saying? When the kingdom of heaven is established, while we in our majestic, powerful state, that's why we're going to have to beat his ass, man. You know, but that's the Lord hardening these devils' hearts, even in the kingdom of heaven. You know, so we're going to have a lot of work to do as well, as far as ass whooping. You know?
It's gonna be fun too.
Absolutely.
Precept. Ecclesiasticus 12, start at 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
That is not Esau literally crouching now. You know, trying to pay respect to Black lives and speak on things and give. You know, when you pull up certain websites, you know, I was on the computer going and sitting certain websites, looking up stuff, going into stuff, whatever. You know, ain't nothing probably pertaining to the truth and the truth, whatever. You see on sites that they put up Black Lives Matter at the bottom screen, like little pop-up windows, just to keep reminding you Black Lives Matter. I said, what the fuck is this? You know?
And you got Esau now walking with Jake in these protests. This cuts that right there. Ecclesiasticus 12:12, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
And that's why two people can't rule at the same time. And that's why specifically you can't rule next to the Edomites, man, because they'll seek to overthrow you. It's inevitable. Just like as iron rusters. That's how the brother just got his leg nicked against some iron, and what he needed to get a tetanus shot, man. Otherwise that rust in that iron will spread and cause an infection, man. It's you Edomites.
So y'all walking with the snake, you're gonna get bit. All right. Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? All right. So you got Jake walking next to wild beasts, which these wild beasts they don't give a fuck about you. You know, they just need something to do. Everybody's sitting at home unemployed.
Hey, if I can add real quick, hey man, that's, you know, I believe that joint's gonna backfire, man. That Black Lives Matter crap, Esau marching with them, because that's the scriptures, man. About the race wars is gonna come into fruition. And scriptures say, they that be joined unto them shall be thrust through with the sword, man. You already got the lady out there in Illinois. She's not stupid. She said, you dumb niggas let the so-called white man come here, tear up your shit, and go back to their neighborhoods, man. So she's feeling some type of way. You think they're gonna let them do that? You think they're gonna let them do that again? They're gonna be like, nah, you get to see the so-called, well, the Northern was smarter than that, man. Northern wasn't having that shit, man. But the so-called Negroes is dumbed down, man.
Verse 15, it says, for a while he will abide with thee, like you see them protesting with you. But if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. You know, he's gonna take advantage. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, you know, trying to please the poor. But if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
Damn,
That's
crazy.
Esau is like that. He's like a serpent. Man, you might have a pet snake. And I saw it from Esau. Esau had a old restrictor, and she was sitting there always kissing it and all that. And she was filming herself trying to get some YouTube. And the old restrictor started tightening up, and she was sitting there trying to be calm and collective, and it kept tightening up. And she put her arm down to get it off and wrapped around that arm. So then now the shit is fucking biting her. Now she bleeding. You see blood all over the floor, and she's sitting there still trying to be calm because the camera on. And those snakes, they'll bite your ass and not think nothing of it. Just like Esau. Esau snuff your ass and take you out and won't think nothing of it.
Yeah.
He's sleeping good at night. He not sitting there, oh, I murdered that black guy yesterday, but I treated him like a brother. He ain't thinking like that. You know?
They're numb to murder.
Yeah.
They're numb to it. They don't care.
Yeah.
Just one more verse. 2. If adversary come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. Adversity come upon, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretends to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee.
Whoa.
I'm about to look that word up right now.
Whoa.
He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. You'll see him turn into devil real quick.
Right.
Wow.
0 to 100.
Yeah.
real quick, you know what I'm saying? Because it's likened unto this fable, the scorpion and the frog, right? And I'm gonna read, you know, pretty much the origin and the synopsis of it. It's the scorpion and the frog is an animal fable which teaches that vicious people often cannot resist hurting others even when it's not in their interest. This fable seems to have emerged in Russia in the early 20th century, although it was likely inspired by more ancient fables. The synopsis of it is, a scorpion which cannot swim asks a frog to carry it across a river on the frog's back. The frog hesitates, afraid of being stung by the scorpion. But the scorpion argues that if it did that, they would both drown. The frog considers this argument sensible and agrees to transport the scorpion. Midway across the river, the scorpion stings the frog anyway, dooming them both. The dying frog asks the scorpion why it stung the frog, despite knowing the consequence. To which the scorpion replies, I couldn't help it. It's in my nature. You know what I'm saying? So that's likened unto you 2/3 in Esau, man. Here it is, this devil's going down and you 2/3 is going down with him. You know, and that's when you join hands in hands with this whole protest and Black Lives Matter situation, man. You know, here it is, 2/3 is the frog, and Esau's the scorpion. You know?
Hey, yeah, you can read that again.
Verse Ecclesiasticus 12:17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee.
That word for undermine, Google search, erode the base or foundation of, lessen the effectiveness, power, or ability of, especially gradually or insidiously, right? Insidiously, Salah. Insidiously. Now, insidiously means in a gradual, subtle way, but with harmful effects. That snake effect he's going into.
Serpent.
Yeah.
Because it moves so slow and gradually with grace, and then your ass is done. And Esau is that venom, man. As the scripture say, the stop of the ear, you know, like vocab alone.
And the snake can't see. You know, just like the Esau don't got vision. You know, he can't spiritually see. A snake can't see. He senses with his tongue.
Right. That's why he keeps sticking his tongue out like that.
I believe they see heat.
Or
They
Oh,
sense
yeah,
certain
yeah.
things though, but they can't really. They ain't got no.
Can't see what's in front of him.
Right. That's a cat.
And also to anxiety, insidiously, right? Infiltrate your thoughts and behavior. That's
Wow.
Yeah, so you got these devils walking with you is to take out your foundation. Esau's not to be trusted. I mean, the slave trade should have taught you that shit, you know?
Yeah.
I got a quick one. This is Sirach 34:23. It says, when one buildeth and another pulleth down, what profit have they then but labor? You know? So here it is, Jacob's trying to build, Esau's pulling down, and it's, you know, you basically at square one. Trying to get the world to see you as not, you know what I'm saying, as not beast, you know, but, you know, Esau's basically being carnal, man.
I'll finish this in Psalms 149:7. He execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with feathers of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord, Yahawashi. And notice in verse 9 it says, to execute upon them the judgment written. So this is written that you Edomites are going to go into slavery. The Lord told Edris that when Esau come out of power, Jacob is up next that rule, man. You know, and that's that second Edris 6.
Yeah.
You know? You got something? Because I get that.
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
There's Revelation. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?
Read up a little more. Start at like 4.
All right, verse 4. It says, or ever the heights of
Start at 1.
All right, this is Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 1. And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightened, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of the angels were gathered together, or ever the heights of the air were lifted up.
Right, and that's the Most High. That's, you know, what is the days, the Ancient of Days.
Yeah,
you know,
7 and 9.
right. That's the Ancient of Days, which is Yahawah. All right, Yahawah's name is He Is or He to Be. Okay, he was here before anything existed, man. You know, so how can puny little Esau, you know, do anything to a power that is great? You know,
A creation can't do nothing to a creator.
And he's greater than his own creation.
That's Romans 9.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you want to give the Lord one emotion, yet you have so many.
I know.
It says, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys in Zion were hot, and ere the present years were sought out, and or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure. Then did I consider these things.
Hey, real quick, and that just proves, with that being said, the Lord is saying this about himself, because the Lord requires to be glorified, man. All right, the greatness, the great works that the Lord has done. Look at where we at. We got green grass, we're breathing in fresh air. You can't say it's fresh, you know, but the skies are blue. It's a clear sky. You know, look at the colors around you, man. Look at the beautiful trees, man. The Heavenly Father did this. Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi. You know? Yeah, and his name is a must that be praised, man.
It's like we watch those movies like Walking Dead. Here it is, it's death all around you. But you still see the trees growing, you still see the grass growing. You know, that never stops.
Like even with that, like you're saying, with praising the name of the Lord, you know what I'm saying, when a good movie is filmed, you want to know who directed it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what, the director's name come up, the executive producer's name come up, and then you got the actor's name come up. It's called the credits. You know, even the movies get credit. So what? The Lord is not supposed to get his credit? Or you want to give the Lord a whole nother name? You know what I'm saying? Discrediting all the creation that he has in the earth. It's like, come on, you go to an art gallery, you're gonna have the painter's name next to the painting that he drew, you know, or that he painted. You know? So what? Credit is required, you know, to when something great is done. You know?
Hey, real quick, I'll just bring a precept behind you. This is Psalms 145 and 4. It says, one generation shall praise thy works to another and shall declare thy mighty acts.
Right.
Because if you're gonna, you know, when you're sharing the accounts and the records of our history and things that happen in the miracles and the terrible that happened to the terrible, you know, when you're telling your sons and your daughters, they're gonna say, well, who did that? Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi. You know? So I'll read that again. One generation shall praise thy works to another and shall declare thy mighty acts. I will speak of the glorious honor of thy majesty and of thy wondrous works. And a man shall speak of the might of thy terrible acts, and I will declare thy greatness. They shall abundantly utter the memory of thy great goodness, and shall sing of thy righteousness. The Lord Yahawah is gracious and full of compassion, slow to anger, and of great mercy. And the Lord is of great mercy, because, you know, when you check it out, look at the Israelites on the whole, man. All right, 2/3 is a whole. It's damn near all of Israel, and they're gonna be destroyed. So when we have this knowledge and this word, you know, you got to look at it as, you know, the Most High showing great mercy unto you, because he didn't have to choose you. He didn't have to wake you up to this knowledge. He could have kept you asleep like the rest of these other niggas out here, and these whores, man, and these harlots, man. You know, so hey, the Most High showed great mercy unto us just to be called, and now we're working out, you know, our lot to be what, saved, to be chosen. You know,
It's Luke 19 and 27. But those mine enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Right now, word reign is G 936 basileo, Greek word basileo, metaphorically to exercise the highest influence to control, to exercise kingly power to reign. And 2/3 ain't gonna want to bow down, so the Lord gotta kill their ass.
yeah, man, that's right, man. To reign, the Most High reigns. It means control. The Most High controls these things. So being that we woken up, and then it's a good thing too, because we're like ants, man. When you check out ants are always working. Their whole life, their whole purpose is to work. So the men of the Lord, the elect, I should say, the hopeful elect, they're like ants. They just, you know, they woke up to the truth and they just got on the job and they just continue the job until they die, until they perish. So the Most High require their spirits.
They don't stop moving either. They don't stop moving. They keep going. There ain't no rest. They keep going and going and going.
Yeah, it's because you say to look to the end.
Right here. Proverbs 6 and 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. Which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that traveleth, and thy want as an armed man. So essentially what? Like the elect has favor, man. You know, the elect has favor from Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi. But favor isn't always fair. The Lord, well, what one would call fair. You know what I'm saying? Because it's fair in the eyesight of Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi. When we read Romans, what's that, 9 and 17? You know, how it gets into, you know, how the the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart and everything like that, and how he loved Jacob and hated Esau, you know, for his own purpose. You know, one he fashioned for honor, one he fashioned for dishonor. You know, the carnal man would look at that as unfair, but that's fair in the eyesight of Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi. You know, and we're with it. You know, that demon, that wicked demon, evil bitch. You know, Oprah said she couldn't follow the Bible because it said God is a jealous God, having no understanding of the word jealous, man. Meaning what? Jealous meaning what? Zealous, man. You know, she took it in the form of being covetous, you know, and where she doesn't even understand, she don't even understand that, you know, but she even condemned herself making that statement, you know, because why? She disassociated herself from the scriptures, which is supposed to be her history, present, and future book, man. You know?
Yeah, this is verse 13. It says, "Thou kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thou dominion endureth throughout all generations."
See, we got an everlasting kingdom. Moab ruled for a period of time, you know. Ammonites ruled for a period of time. The Persians, the Medes, the Hamites, you know, all of these nations, you know, even up to these Edomites up to this particular point, they all had a season of rule, a beginning and an end. Israel got forever, man. You know, the rest of the nations will somebody get Psalm 126. You know what I'm saying? The other nations, they view it as unfair, man. But the scriptures is written. The Creator could do what he wanted to do.
It's all punishment, that's all. You know what I mean? It's punishment, chastisement.
We were put in this position to learn wisdom, to learn righteousness, man. You know, nothing's given, you know, for free.
Hey, plus the Lord said, "My thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways."
Right.
So you can't sit here and try and say, "Why the Lord do it like this?"
Yeah. Man, the Lord had Adam go off so we could be in this position that we in right now. The Lord could have just easily gave us the kingdom. But how boring would that movie be? You know? just knowing righteousness. Like, I'm just doing good all day. You know? So what? The Lord had to bring some dramatization, you know, within his film, you know, in order for it to be A1, man. You know?
And just like Satan is one of the sons of the Most High. So even in the kingdom of heaven, he's still gonna have a part.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna be amongst you heathens, man.
Satan, the drama king too. He pretty much for the heathens. He gonna be.
Yeah.
Man.
We gonna sick Satan on you devils, man. In the kingdom, Satan's gonna, man. Listen, I might not even lift a finger for a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting Satan on everything. Leviathan on everything. Go ahead out.
Psalms 126:1. When Yahawah turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream.
That's right. When the Lord is turning over this slavery, we're like unto them that dream. Go ahead.
Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing.
Hey, he that laughs last best, man. My pops used to tell me that when I was a kid. He that laughs last best, man. We gonna be laughing in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be, man, listen. We gonna be hollering in the kingdom, man. When we put Ham against Edom, oh, forget about it.
Oh man.
You know, when we put Moab against Ammon, forget about it.
Royal Rumble.
You know? It's gonna be, man, listen. Hey, it's like, you know how you play video games like Street Fighter? You know, you playing your brother or something like that. You gonna do that with your slaves. One brother is gonna be using his spiritual powers for his slave, and another brother's gonna use his spiritual power on his slave, and they just gonna fight. See who slaves win.
Yeah, y'all ever see that the Hamite that be rapping the worst rappers ever?
Oh yeah.
And he over there.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh,
yeah. If you just sound stupid, we fucking him up.
Go ahead.
It says, then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing.
Right.
Then said they among the heathen, Yahawah have done great things for them.
Yeah, you heathen, y'all gonna acknowledge the greatness that the Lord is gonna do for us, man. You know, you're gonna see the way the planets in which you're gonna build is gonna be designed for the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect. You know, you're gonna see the spiritual power that we have. You're gonna see our women. You know, you're gonna see our children. You know, and you're gonna see the greatness that the Heavenly Father created us to be, and the things that He's gonna do for us, man. You know.
And that just show you just how spectacular the kingdom would be.
Yeah.
Because here it is, you got somebody with so much pride, acknowledging somebody who's so-called under them, man, for
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah.
So it's like, how much the Lord gonna bring us up?
That's
crazy.
Yeah, I was going to finish this up. This is Psalms 145 and 14. The Lord Yahawah upholdeth all that fall and raiseth up all those that be bowed down. The eyes of all wait upon thee, and thou gavest them their meat in due season. Thou openest thou hand and satisfy the desire of every living thing. The Lord Yahawah is righteous in all his ways and holy in all his works. The Lord Yahawah is nigh unto them, nigh unto all them that call upon him, and all that call upon him in truth.
Hey, you can bring that precept, the eyes of the eyes of the Lord wait upon them that wait upon you. So I
I got you.
them that wait upon
Yeah,
you.
this is verse 15. The eyes of all wait upon thee, and thou gavest them their meat in due season.
And it makes me think like you have a dog or whatever, a well-trained dog. At first you don't give him free range of the whole house, man. You gotta train up. You gotta train up to that level, man. It sits where you say sit, wait for the food. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Lord's gonna do for us, man. So that we gotta prove our loyalty, man. Like they say, a dog is a man's best friend. We all want to see who his best friends are, man.
It says, thou openest thou hand and satisfy the desire of every living thing. The Lord Yahawah is righteous in all his ways and holy in all his works. And it says holy in all his works. That's why the laws that we keep is holy. You got some jokers that get upset about certain laws. Like, oh, it's tedious that, oh, your woman, she on her menstrual, her moon, and she can't touch nothing. Well, the Lord is holy, man. Holy means what? Separate, man. And hey, the ways of the Lord and us as his people are special, all right, and above the rest. So we're royalty.
Even when it's strange or weird, it's still special.
Yeah.
That word strange goes into like weird,
Peculiar.
So when you look at it,
I mean peculiar. So
the Lord's people are the rich, are the best quality of people, man. Okay, we're supposed to be the rich flower, the most potent and best of everything.
The city south of here.
Yeah. It says, verse 17, the Lord is righteous in all his works and holy in all his works. It says, the Lord is nigh unto all them that call upon him, to all that call upon him in truth. So if you call upon him, what is his name?
What is his son's name if thou canst tell? Khan, huh?
It says, verse 19, he will fulfill the desire of them that fear him. He also will hear their cry and will save them. Verse 20, the Lord Yahawah preserveth all them that love him, but all the wicked will he destroy. My mouth shall speak and praise the Lord Yahawah, and let all flesh bless his holy name forever and ever. So it says all flesh bless his holy name forever and ever. So why do these cats got a problem with the name? King David said that all flesh bless his holy name forever and ever. And we got it back. That's the only reason why we woke him, because of the Lord's name been back. The prophecy of Elijah, all right, Alvin Bivens, and then this knowledge came on the scene, our apostles and their elders. We had the name. The name is what brought the rest of the knowledge together, man. What brought us into this truth. It was his name. It was his name, man. And then these guys branched off after the West, and then they started saying this, Yiddish, Yahshua, Yah, and all this. Like Nate. Nate did a perfect breakdown, edifying breakdown of the name of the Lord. In that time when he was in his right spirit. Back then he was teaching the truth. Now he's mixed with lies, man. So yeah. This is Psalms 145. Chapter.
That's what happens when you take a gift. The scriptures say, a gift blind the eyes of the wise so that they cannot reprove, man. He took that gift, Nate. He took that Jewish person. So what? That it refrained him from giving up the true name of the Lord. That was probably the agreement that he made with Esau. You can't teach the name of the Lord. And then when I believe, who was it, Apostle Recall ran into him a few years back, he says, I know the name of the Lord and I teach my congregation that. So why don't you put it on film? If that's the case. That's a hypocrite, man.
now all of a sudden they call themselves faith-based.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you have faith in?
Exactly.
That's the question.
Crazy.
It said you got to believe in the Lord in truth, man.
The scripture says.
In truth.
It's like they take everything. And Zabak, a brother sent me this thing from the main camp. He said Zabak was in sometime, I believe Passover, they were showing it, said 2020
Oh yeah.
year prop, year props. I'm like, you ain't get that from yourself. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'll read this just to edify. We're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Precepts after. Right. This is Ezekiel 36 and 16. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord Yahawah came unto me, saying, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doings. Their way was before me as an uncleanness of a removed woman. Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they have shed upon the land, and for their idols, wherewith they have polluted it. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries. According to their way and according to their doings, I judged them. And when they entered into the heathen, whether they went, they profaned my holy name. When they said to them, these are the people of the Lord Yahawah, and are gone forth out of his land. But I had pity on my holy name, which the house of Israel hath profaned among the heathen, whether they went. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord Yahawah, I do not this for your sake, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whether ye went. And it says, verse 23, I will sanctify my great name. I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord Yahawah, saith the Lord power, Yahawah, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. You know?
It's kind of like the Lord's calling them niggas heathen too.
That's exactly what we said.
Yeah. So the Lord raised us up, you know, to glorify his name. And then also by his name getting, when the Lord gets his glory, by raising us up to glorify him, then we receive glory. That's how it works.
The Most High gets his glory first,
and then we do.
Yep.
Yeah. Just like what is that? Paul said that we are joint heirs to Yahawashi.
Because Paul knew that Yahawashi and the Heavenly Father, of course, because Yahawashi was always calling on the Heavenly Father, and the Heavenly Father calling on the Heavenly Father.
Yep.
He ain't glorify himself.
Yep.
You know?
So this thing is all about BaHaSham Yahawashi, then us. You know, the Lord want to get his name through this earth, like it was magnified in the time of ancient Egypt when we was delivered, man. He was magnified through the world after that. But this time he's going to be magnified through the world forever, ever. You know? Last piece up?
Yeah, this is Luke 17 and 7. But which of you having a servant plowing or feeding cattle will say unto him by and by, when he is come by the field, go and sit down and meat? And he would not rather say unto him, make ready wherewith I may sup, and gird thyself and serve me, till I have eaten and drunken, and afterward thou shalt eat and drink. Doth he thank that servant because he did the things that were commanded him? I trow not. So like you say, Yahawashi eats first. That's right. Scriptures say that.
Hey, so you know we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna close early because Lord willing, the brothers on the comment board, we're gonna make this trip, Lord willing, to the apostles and try to get out there, see our elders and apostles and break the bread, man. So with that, we want to give all praises to Yahawah.
Yahawah, BaHaSham, Yahawashi, BaHaSham, Qadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone. Salutations to the Lord's elect. Shalom.
Shalom.